Now let's talk. What does self-love look like to you? Some people would say speaking up and telling the truth is a way of showing themselves self-love. They just want to open up and say things as they feel without sugarcoating anything, and with that they feel good about it. Yeah? Some people will say that self-love means slowing down. Probably they've been running up and down and they realize that they need to settle down and calm down because they need to show themselves love. Their body needs to take a rest. They need to unwind. So that's another thing that's how people view self-love. Now, some people would say that self-love is letting others show up for you, accepting help, accepting compliments, accepting people coming to help you whenever you need them. So now some people could say that is how they show love to themselves. So I'd like to know, how do you show love to yourself? Now other people would say that they show themselves love by shopping online. I am one of them. Or shopping anywhere. That is what I like. I just feel good when I spoil myself by get a few outfits, just understand what that means to a girl. You understand how we like shopping and whatever. So that's one of the things that other people could say is self-love. Other people would say that they show themselves love by doing their makeup. They just want to look good. They want to take photos. They want to just pose. They want to feel good. That's one of the way that they show love to themselves. Now, other people would say that self-love meaning giving grace to not having all the answers. Probably life could be hard. They could be having a lot of questions as to why things are happening the way they are, or as to why things are not happening as how they expected. And so for themselves, they show themselves love and grace to know that they don't need to have all the answers. Sometimes life could be hard. You could be having a lot of questions with no answers, but they appreciate and recognize the fact that it's okay not to know everything. It's okay not to have answers to some things in life. Could be time will tell. Could be some situations they could need to go to therapy for them to talk about, and probably their minds will be opened up so they understand why some things are happening. Okay? And another person would say that they show themselves love by remembering that they still matter outside their roles as moms, as wives, as sisters, as siblings, that they just still matter outside those roles, that they can still embrace themselves and they can still go out of their way to travel, to get careers, to open businesses, to invest in themselves. With them, self-love means investing in themselves as much as they can, bettering their career, improving their skills, just making sure that everything is working out for them. Okay, and another person would say that self-love means rebuilding, reinventing, and rebranding. Probably some things need to be worked on in their life, and they realize that they need to take time to rebrand, to rebuild, to reinvest in themselves. So they take time to make sure that they're becoming better people every other day. Okay, another person would say that self-love is realizing that she's not late. She's still on time. There's no pressure. Of course, nobody should pressure you, by the way, because sometimes you get into situations where people are asking you lots of questions. You've not forgotten a job. When are you getting a job? When are you building your career? When are you opening a business? When are you getting married? No. It's very wrong, by the way, to be asking people such personal questions. Those are very intimate conversations that unless you're very close to someone and they're willing to open up, you should not be asking such questions at all. You find someone and the first question you ask is, when are you getting a baby? When are you getting married? Are you dating? Those are very intimate conversations that you should never ask anyone whatsoever. It is very insensitive and you never know what people are going through. The best thing that you can do is let people be as they are. If they want to share, they will. And if they don't, just let people be. Don't be a person who keeps bothering people about their personal lives. Why you broke up, why you don't have a baby, what happened to your business. When you visit someone, the first thing that you look is, how much did you buy that? No, you need to be respectful. You need to respect people's personal space and people's intimate spaces. Give people grace, okay? And the last thing that I would say is some people realize or define self-love as letting themselves be vulnerable sometimes. Could be to a therapist or someone they trust. Maybe something is not working out and they realize that they need to open up for them to be listened to and for them to get solutions. So I'd like you to tell me, how do you define self-love according to you? How would you define self-love? And how do you show love to yourself? So other than that, I want to wish you all the best and lots of love.